first start?
We can start at Ross first.
At Ross.
Because if I get in Kirkland's, it's going to be.
Well, I'm truly excited about redecorating your house.
Me too, I'm excited.
Getting that old stuff out.
Don't be talking about my home interior now. No, home interior was back in the day. I built my house, in 2009? And so I had my home interior. Actually, I won that from a hostess party. I hosted a party for a consultant. And I won that picture and that other thing that you said is ugly, but at that time
It is.
that's because what's the age difference?
It doesn't matter the age difference. It's just time to redo your house. Point blank period.
I will agree. I will agree. It's
You need to have a garage sale.
Well, you gonna come help me?
No.
But listen, there be people out searching on Saturdays looking for stuff. So
From
one
the home
man's
interior decor.
right. So one man's junk is another person's treasure.
That is true.
But it's a lot of people still have home material.
They need to get rid of it.
Girl,
If it
home
look like
material
that.
was the bomb. Girl, bye-bye. Bye-bye. But I'm excited about you being able to do it for me. I love how you have your house decorated. And you know what else?
What?
We don't have to consult anybody about what we do or don't do in our house. That's the one thing about being single.
Yeah. That is true.
Because I can remember when I was married, even to like do some changes in the bathroom, somebody had something to say.
Yeah,
Like, really, you leave that up to the woman, really, to me.
True.
But not all men are like that. So I can say being single is certain stuff that I get to do that I don't have to consult somebody or, worry about running this by your spouse. Now, I know that will change once I remarry. Think about remarrying?
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking about remarrying. I mean, I'm about to have someone come and be with me for at least 90 days.
Right.
To figure out.
Fiance in 90 days.
Yes. So, of course. But the life after divorce was, it's scary. You especially being married for 13 years. I was married for 13 years, okay? So,
that's a long time.
it is a long time. It's a long time.
Trinnett was married, 17 years.
Yeah,
She got married right out of.
It's a long time. And so when you're with someone and you have this routine of 13 years of consulting and, both incomes coming in together, when you make that decision to no longer accept certain things that, let's be real, accept crap.
Right.
You no longer want to accept, those feelings, those lonely nights, even though you have a spouse. The feeling of being alone, you no longer want to accept that. So when you do think about,
everybody don't want to accept that, April, because like as you talking like that, me, it wasn't like that for me. Like, hey, you dishing out crap that I don't have to deal with, and you know what? I'm getting me and my son out of this situation, deuces, and so I just kept it moving. Like, so.
Well, some people don't. Some people are afraid, and I was one of those people. I was afraid. I was afraid of how am I going to survive? How am I going to do this? How am I going to raise these 2 kids by myself? I never, never wanted to do that alone. So it's just like some people literally stay because they're afraid of the afterlife of divorce.
I guess because I don't have to do things on my own so long. Like I left when I graduated high school. I immediately had, a job, and then I went off to college, and like I kind of been on my own for so long. And so, just because I've been raised, that, marriage is the right thing to do, and, been raised as how to be a godly wife, or how to take care of my household, I was prepared for marriage early on. So when it happened for me, that was fine, but I had enough independence as a younger woman, being exposed to college and being on my own some, till it didn't really faze me after marriage that, when I got divorced, that, I never thought I would not be able to make it. Like, I've always been independent.
You wasn't fearful of the life after divorce?
No, because on the inside, I knew, first of all, with most women, or any woman, you give it your all in your relationship.
True.
You give, and especially you talking about a marriage, trying to save your family, we give it our all. And so, like, R. Kelly had that song, when a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Like, when you get a woman to that point, like, that's it for me. Like, because I'm giving you my 100%, but after you have mistreated me or mishandled my heart or whatever, and it's time to go, I don't care how many years. I was with Kaylin dad from conception to before conception till Kaylin was 9 years old. We never got married or anything, but I was with him. We lived together for 9 years, and so it was almost like what they would call common law marriage.
Right.
But when he left, trust me, I had given it my all to try to keep my family together, and he gave me his butt to kiss and unfaithfulness. And so when I was done, I was done. And it was almost like a burden lifted off of me. Now me and my son can go on and try to live life. Was it easy? No, it was not easy, like financially, but I did what I had to do to make sure that I took care of my son.
I think it was the survival mode that I was afraid of, because I got married when I was in college.
Yeah, I was gonna say you was young.
I was a baby. I was married at 22 and a mother at 23. So
yeah, that's young.
So I never lived on my own, quote unquote, because I was straight out of high school, went straight off to college, and got married while I was in college. So it was a fear factor for me.
I think that's kind of the same thing that kind of, when I think about, Trinnett being married, that's kind of the same way it happened for her. And so I think with the early you get married and then you go through certain things, then, I can empathize with why you would feel the way that you did, because I didn't get married till Kaylin was in the 6th grade.
Right.
Like, my first marriage was not until Kaylin got in the 6th grade. And so by that time, I had went through some things in life that matured me to a certain area, but I had my independence as a woman who's had to do it on their own, and now entering into a union after so many years. So I can, I'll empathize and say, okay, I can feel you.
And then the fact of, you were raising children together, and now you're no longer raising the children together, and they're in what they call, not a broken home because it's no longer a home, but now they're splitting the time with the co-parenting, and trying to do that. And so,
well, at least you have that. So even though I wasn't married to Kaylin's dad, being with him that many years, raising Kaylin together, I didn't even get to co-parent because he chose to walk away and never look back. And so some things we got to, it may not be the situation in itself might be a good situation, but if you have a parent that's trying to at least co-parent and take responsibility financially, whether the courts got to make them do it or not, still, if they're trying to abide and they're in those children's lives for, whatever period or whatever, at least you have that. Kaylin dad walked away and never looked back.
But some people don't.
Right, and some people don't. So even they court ordered, they still don't do right even with that, but you know, at least to have the presence of, you know, their dad in their life. They get to go with him on the summer, you know, whatever holidays, whatever y'all doing, at least he's still there in some kind of capacity, you know.
Well, I just thought about how, you know, staying there because of the fear.
This is where I got that ticket. They be right there waiting on it.
Well, I need you to just like
listen, because we don't need no repeat of nothing.
No, we don't. But now I was able to do what I needed to do, and I found my strength. But now it's a thing of I'm ready to have that companion, and so, you know, I'm praying that everything continues to work in our favor for Christopher to come over here, because I haven't had a companion since really truly since I left. That was in 2014.
Lord have mercy,
5 years. So
5 years?
5 years. And I really thought that once I signed on the dotted line, I would be on dates and everything. Yo, it's hard.
It don't happen like that. It don't happen like that. It does not happen like that.
No.
I think I you know what, but after divorce, after I divorced, I can remember my godmama saying to me that, you know, it made me kind of like bitter. It made me start believing that, you know, there was no honor in marriage because of some of the stuff that I went through in my marriage. But one thing that she said to me was that, you know, you were built up to be let down in such a small amount of time, because it wasn't like I was married for years,
right?
You know, so, but to be built up the way that they installed about, you know, being a woman in your house and being, you know, a godly wife, you know, all those traits and stuff that I took into my marriage, and then to have someone, you know, actually just make me believe that, like, this for the birds. Like, why would one or God want you to go through something like that, and then you end up in divorce? Who gets married to get divorced? And so it was a letdown.
You don't think that it's,
you think it's forever, whether you're gonna go through or not. You think when you get married, this is gonna be it, and we're gonna try to get through. But, you know, men not made like the men are old, you know, where you gonna try to work this thing out. And so it was a big letdown to me, and I really didn't want to marry again. Actually, I took the attitude like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna test the waters before, you know, skip all that about what the mothers of the church say. We're gonna test the waters, and we're gonna see what this thing is while we dating.
Right.
But, you know, that's not the way that God wants us to do it. And thank God that my God changed and healed my heart. And now that I'm experiencing a new type of love, that has all changed for me, you know. So I guess it's just what you go through, and how divorce can be terrible, you know, on a family. It can really destroy children, and sometimes you can stay too long. Some women stay too long in situations, and they think they're trying to stay there for their kids, and it's doing more damage than
That's
it
one
is
thing
good.
My kids said, if you stay,
Mama, this is Marshall's. This not Ross. You need to Google.
We can still go in there. Let's go in there and look. They have nice stuff. Yeah, they have a decor section, so we can go in there. But just like my kids said to me, you know, Mom, if you would have stayed and you would have been unhappy.
I still want you to Google where Ross is.
Okay, but if you would have stayed and you were unhappy, then we would not have been happy. And so that is, you know.
Right, that's right. But, you know, me personally, and this is just my personal opinion, if, you know, I had a friend going through, you know, I'm going to give them what the words say or whatever, but I'm not going to encourage anybody to stay in a situation where you are being mentally abused, physically abused, you dealing with habitual cheater. You know, I'm not going to encourage anybody to stay in any situation like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be that girl. I'm going to be that friend that's going to help you try to get yourself out. Now, if it's a situation where you just say, and you know what? And another thing, we can't just put it all on men. Sometimes women cause their divorces. Like,
That's
you
true.
have cheating women, you have cheating men, or, you have some women that get maybe married too early and then find out later on, go through midlife crisis like they say most men do. You have women that do the same thing.
That is true.
It's just, I thank God that we've been able to be in our right mind.
Right, and get through it.
Divorce didn't destroy us.
Nope.
Even though we went through, it didn't destroy us. And I think that we have, for our kids, they are in a better mental state and stable homes, and they can see that, you don't have to settle to just stay in something because you.
And so that is my dying wish, is that my daughters see their mother being loved and treated with the utmost respect, so they know how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
That's right.
All right.